Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Come to a close. Reach a conclusion after a discussion or deliberation. Decide by reasoning. Draw or come to a conclusion. Bring to a close. The committee concluded the meeting. Reach agreement on. They concluded an economic agreement. Cease to operate or cause to cease operating. The owners decided to move and to close the factory. Come to a close. The concert closed with a nocturne by Chopin. Not far distant in time or space or degree or circumstances. She was close to tears. Of textiles. A close weave. Marked by fidelity to an original. A close translation. Fill or stop up. Can you close the cracks with caulking? Inclined to secrecy or reticence about divulging information. Although they knew her whereabouts, her friends kept close about it. Near in time or place or relationship. The bullet didn't come close. Move so that an opening or passage is obstructed. Make shut. In an attentive manner. He remained close on his guard. Lacking fresh air. The dreadfully close atmosphere. The last section of a communication. The temporal end. The concluding time. They were playing better at the close of the season. Come together, as if in an embrace. Her arms closed around her long-lost relative. The concluding part of any performance. Become closed. The windows closed with a loud bang. Crowded. Close quarters. Unite or bring into contact or bring together the edges of. Close the circuit. Giving or spending with reluctance. Very close, or near, with his money. Of a contest or contestants, evenly matched. A close contest. Fitting closely but comfortably. A close fit. At or within a short distance in space or time or having elements near each other. Close to noon. Bar access to. Due to the accident, the road had to be closed for several hours. Be priced or listed when trading stops. The stock market closed high this Friday. Bring together all the elements or parts of. Management closed ranks. Cause a window or an application to disappear on a computer desktop. Change one's body stance so that the forward shoulder and foot are closer to the intended point of impact. Close in relevance or relationship. A close family. Complete a business deal, negotiation, or an agreement. We closed on the house on Friday. Confined to specific persons. A close secret. Draw near. The probe closed with the space station. Engage at close quarters. Close with the enemy. Finish a game in baseball by protecting a lead. The relief pitcher closed with 2 runs in the second inning. Finish or terminate, meetings, speeches, etc. The meeting was closed with a charge by the chairman of the board. Rigorously attentive, strict and thorough. Close supervision. Strictly confined or guarded. Kept under close custody. Used of hair or haircuts. A close military haircut. Find the solution. Reach a decision. He resolved never to drink again. Bring to an end. Settle conclusively. Reach a conclusion after a discussion or deliberation. The trait of being resolute. A formal expression by a meeting. Agreed to by a vote. Cause to go into a solution. Understand the meaning of. Make clearly visible. Can this image be resolved? Present reasons and arguments. A rational motive for a belief or action. The reason that war was declared. The state of having good sense and sound judgment. He had to rely less on reason than on rousing their emotions. Decide by reasoning. Draw or come to a conclusion. We reasoned that it was cheaper to rent than to buy a house. The capacity for rational thought or inference or discrimination. We are told that man is endowed with reason and capable of distinguishing good from evil. A justification for something existing or happening. They had good reason to rejoice. A fact that logically justifies some premise or conclusion. There is reason to believe he is lying. An explanation of the cause of some phenomenon. The reason a steady state was never reached was that the back pressure built up too slowly. Think logically. The children must learn to reason. Decide by reasoning. Draw or come to a conclusion. Bring to an end or halt. The attack on Poland terminated the relatively peaceful period after WWI. Be the end of. Be the last or concluding part of. Terminate the employment of. Discharge from an office or position. The company terminated 25% of its workers. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. The bronchioles terminate in a capillary bed. Put an end to a state or an activity. An obstruction in a pipe or tube. The act of stopping something. The third baseman made some remarkable stops. Prevent completion. Stop the project. The state of inactivity following an interruption. He spent the entire stop in his seat. Stop from happening or developing. Render unsuitable for passage. Stop the busy road. A restraint that checks the motion of something. He used a book as a stop to hold the door open. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. Your rights stop where you infringe upon the rights of other. Stop and wait, as if awaiting further instructions or developments. Interrupt a trip. We stopped at Aunt Mary's house. Seize on its way. A mechanical device in a camera that controls size of aperture of the lens. A consonant produced by stopping the flow of air at some point and suddenly releasing it. His stop consonants are too aspirated. Come to a halt, stop moving. The car stopped. The event of something ending. It came to a stop at the bottom of the hill. A brief stay in the course of a journey. They made a stopover to visit their friends. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. In England they call a period a stop. Hold back, as of a danger or an enemy. Check the expansion or influence of. A spot where something halts or pauses. His next stop is Atlanta. Cause to stop. Stop a car. Music. A knob on an organ that is pulled to change the sound quality from the organ pipes. The organist pulled out all the stops. A piece of cloth that is left over after the rest has been used or sold. Bring to an end or halt. She ended their friendship when she found out that he had once been convicted of a crime. Be the end of. Be the last or concluding part of. This sad scene ended the movie. The state of affairs that a plan is intended to achieve and that, when achieved, terminates behavior intended to achieve it. The ends justify the means. The last section of a communication. The point in time at which something ends. The end of the year. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. My property ends by the bushes. The final stage or concluding parts of an event or occurrence. The end was exciting. A final state. He came to a bad end. Either extremity of something that has length. The end of the pier. A boundary marking the extremities of something. The end of town. A final part or section. We have given it at the end of the section since it involves the calculus. American football. A position on the line of scrimmage. No one wanted to play end. Football. The person who plays at one end of the line of scrimmage. The end managed to hold on to the pass. One of two places from which people are communicating to each other. The phone rang at the other end. Put an end to. The terrible news ended our hopes that he had survived. The part you were expected to play. He held up his end. The surface at either extremity of a three-dimensional object. One end of the box was marked, this side up. A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. The boat had a metallic finish. Event whose occurrence ends something. When these final episodes are broadcast, it will be the finish of the show. Finish eating all the food on one's plate or on the table. Finally, be or do something. The temporal end, the concluding time. The market was up at the finish. A highly developed state of perfection, having a flawless or impeccable quality. Almost an inspiration which gives to all work that finish which is almost art. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. The act of finishing. His best finish in a major tournament was third. Come or bring to a finish or an end. He finished the dishes. The place designated as the end, as of a race or journey. A crowd assembled at the finish. Cause to finish a relationship with somebody. That finished me with Mary. Designated event that concludes a contest, especially a race. Excitement grew as the finish neared. Provide with a finish. The carpenter finished the table beautifully. The downfall of someone, as of persons on one side of a conflict. Booze will be the finish of him. Wine tasting. The taste of a wine on the back of the tongue, as it is swallowed. The wine has a nutty flavor and a pleasant finish. Put an end to a state or an activity. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. Cease is a noun only in the phrase, without cease, end. Be capable of holding or containing. The flask holds 1 gallon. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. This theory holds for all irrational numbers. Have or possess, either in a concrete or an abstract sense. She holds a master's degree from Harvard. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. The beam holds up the roof. Resist or confront with resistance. A state of being confined, usually for a short time. The prisoner is on hold. Lessen the intensity of, temper, hold in restraint, hold or keep within limits. Hold your tongue. Drink alcohol without showing ill effects. He can hold his liquor. Cause to stop. Have room for, hold without crowding. The auditorium can't hold more than 500 people. Time during which some action is awaited. He ordered a hold in the action. Have or hold in one's hands or grip. A crazy idea took hold of him. Organize or be responsible for. Hold a reception. The appendage to an object that is designed to be held in order to use or move it. Be valid, applicable, or true. This theory still holds. Protect against a challenge or attack. Maintain, a theory, thoughts, or feelings. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. This holds the local until the express passengers change trains. Keep in mind or convey as a conviction or view. Hold these truths to be self-evident. The space in a ship or aircraft for storing cargo. Have rightfully, of rights, titles, and offices. Contain or hold, have within. The canteen holds fresh water. Bind by an obligation, cause to be indebted. I'll hold you by your promise. A cell in a jail or prison. Be in accord, be in agreement. I hold with those who say life is sacred. The act of grasping. She kept a firm hold on the railing. Secure and keep for possible future use or application. Cause to continue in a certain state, position, or activity, e.g., keep clean. Hold in place. Support or hold in a certain manner. She holds her head high. Declare to be. Understanding of the nature or meaning or quality or magnitude of something. Arrange for and reserve something for someone else in advance. Please hold a table at Maxim's. Aim, point, or direct. Assert or affirm. Rousseau's philosophy holds that people are inherently good. A stronghold. Cover as for protection against noise or smell. Hold one's nose. Have as a major characteristic. The novel holds many surprises. Hold the attention of. She can hold an audience spellbound. Keep from departing. Keep from exhaling or expelling. Hold your breath. Power by which something or someone is affected or dominated. He has a hold over them. Remain committed to. I hold to these ideas. Remain in a certain state, position, or condition. Stop dealing with. Hold all calls to the president's office while he is in a meeting. Take and maintain control over, often by violent means. The First Battle of the American Revolution, April 19, 1775. Go together. Their ideas concorded. Agreement of opinions. A harmonious state of things in general and of their properties, as of colors and sounds, congruity of parts with one another and with the whole. Capital of the state of New Hampshire, located in south-central New Hampshire on the Merrimack River. The determination of grammatical inflection on the basis of word relations. Be in accord, be in agreement. Both philosophers concord on this point. Arrange by concord or agreement. Arrange the words of a text so as to create a concordance. The team concorded several thousand nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Town in eastern Massachusetts near Boston where the first battle of the American Revolution was fought. Go together. Be in accord, be in agreement. We agreed on the terms of the settlement. Be compatible, similar or consistent, coincide in their characteristics. The two stories don't agree in many details. Achieve harmony of opinion, feeling, or purpose. No two of my colleagues would agree on whom to elect chairman. Be agreeable or suitable. White wine doesn't agree with me. Consent or assent to a condition, or agree to do something. She agreed to all my conditions. Show grammatical agreement. Subjects and verbs must always agree in English. Happen simultaneously. Be in accord, be in agreement. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. Consider carefully and deeply. Reflect upon. Turn over in one's mind. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. I think he is very smart. Recall knowledge from memory. Have a recollection. I can't think what her last name was. Have in mind as a purpose. She didn't think to harm me. Expect, believe, or suppose. He didn't think to find her in the kitchen. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. I've been thinking all day and getting nowhere. An instance of deliberate thinking. I need to give it a good think. Bring into a given condition by mental preoccupation. Decide by pondering, reasoning, or reflecting. Can you think what to do next? Dispose the mind in a certain way. Do you really think so? Focus one's attention on a certain state. Think thin. Have or formulate in the mind. Think good thoughts. Imagine or visualize. Just think you could be rich one day. Ponder. Reflect on, or reason about. Be capable of conscious thought. Man is the only creature that thinks. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. Decide upon or fix definitely. Reach, make, or come to a decision about something. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Establish after a calculation, investigation, experiment, survey, or study. Shape or influence. Give direction to. Experience often determines ability. Fix conclusively or authoritatively. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. Fix in scope. Fix the boundaries of. The tree determines the border of the property. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. Even up the edges of a stack of paper, in printing. Make square. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. Come to terms. Settle into a position, usually on a surface or ground. Dust settled on the roofs. Bring to an end. Settle conclusively. Become settled or established and stable in one's residence or lifestyle. He finally settled down. Come as if by falling. Get one's revenge for a wrong or an injury. I finally settled with my old enemy. Go under. Make final. Put the last touches on, put into final form. Take up residence and become established. The immigrants settled in the Midwest. Sink down or precipitate. Settle conclusively. Come to terms. We finally settled the argument. A long wooden bench with a back. Fix firmly. Accept despite lack of complete satisfaction. We settled for a lower price. Arrange or fix in the desired order. She settled the tea cart. Become clear by the sinking of particles. The liquid gradually settled. Become resolved, fixed, established, or quiet. The roar settled to a thunder. Cause to become clear by forming a sediment of liquids. Come to rest. Dispose of. Make a financial settlement. End a legal dispute by arriving at a settlement. The two parties finally settled. Establish or develop as a residence. He settled the farm 200 years ago. Form a community. The Swedes settled in Minnesota. The act of gathering something. Collect in one place. Let's gather in the dining room. Assemble or get together. Gather some stones. Increase or develop. The car gathers speed. Get people together. Gather the close family members. Sewing consisting of small folds or puckers made by pulling tight a thread in a line of stitching. Draw together into folds or puckers. collect or gather. Conclude from evidence. I gather you have not done your homework. Draw and bring closer. She gathered her shawl around her shoulders. Look for food in nature. Our ancestors gathered nuts in the fall. Reason by deduction. Establish by deduction. Conclude by reasoning, in logic. Reason by deduction. Establish by deduction. Retain and refrain from disbursing of payments. Make a subtraction. Reason by deduction. Establish by deduction. Come from. Be connected by a relationship of blood, for example. Develop or evolve from a latent or potential state. Obtain. Derive pleasure from one's garden. Come from. The present name derives from an older form. Draw from specific cases for more general cases. Estimate the value of. Gain knowledge of an area not known or experienced by extrapolating. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. The feel of the city excited him. Examine by touch. Come to believe on the basis of emotion, intuitions, or indefinite grounds. I feel that he doesn't like me. Perceive by a physical sensation, e.g., coming from the skin or muscles. Examine a body part by palpation. A property perceived by touch. Undergo an emotional sensation or be in a particular state of mind. An intuitive awareness. He has a feel for animals. Be conscious of a physical, mental, or emotional state. My cold is gone, I feel fine today. Be felt or perceived in a certain way. The ground feels shaky. Find by testing or cautious exploration. Grope or feel in search of something. Have a feeling or perception about oneself in reaction to someone's behavior or attitude. You make me feel naked. Manual stimulation of the genital area for sexual pleasure. The girls hated it when he tried to sneak a feel. Pass one's hands over the sexual organs of. Produce a certain impression. It feels nice to be home again. Undergo passive experience of. The act of discovering something. Come upon, as if by accident, meet with. We find this idea in Plato. Discover or determine the existence, presence, or fact of. Come to believe on the basis of emotion, intuitions, or indefinite grounds. I find him to be obnoxious. Perceive or be contemporaneous with. Get or find back. Recover the use of. Accept and make use of one's personality, abilities, and situation. My son went to Berkeley to find himself. Make a discovery. Receive a specified treatment, abstract. These aspects of civilization do not find expression or receive an interpretation. A productive insight. Establish after a calculation, investigation, experiment, survey, or study. Find the product of two numbers. Make a discovery, make a new finding. Get something or somebody for a specific purpose. Decide on and make a declaration about. Find someone guilty. Come upon after searching. Find the location of something that was missed or lost. Did you find your glasses? Obtain through effort or management. Perceive oneself to be in a certain condition or place. Succeed in reaching. Arrive at. Speak or write in generalities. Become systemic and spread throughout the body. Cater to popular taste to make popular and present to the general public. Bring into general or common use. Draw from specific cases for more general cases. Speak or write in generalities. Become systemic and spread throughout the body. This kind of infection generalizes throughout the immune system. Cater to popular taste to make popular and present to the general public. Bring into general or common use. Draw from specific cases for more general cases. Produce electric current by electrostatic or magnetic processes. Cause to arise. Induce a crisis. Cause to occur rapidly. Cause to do. Cause to act in a specified manner. The ads induced me to buy a VCR. Reason or establish by induction.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.